feel like we're on a roll here. Not many days we have not been able to ride. And in a really hot part of the summer, we were riding real early in the morning. We've kind of backed off of that now. We get into the little bit nicer part of the day. But the objective is always to, when it's rideable, to ride. When it's not rideable, do the maintenance. And in the winter, when it gets brutally cold for about 2 or 3 months, we like to do our restoration. And the next bike we're going to restore, of course, is the 650 Ninja. And thank you to everybody that's sending me feedback and pictures and ideas, and especially to Turbo Steve. And the weather today is supposed to be really ideal. I'm hoping they're right. The weathermen here, every once in a while they are right. I have to give them credit. Now when we did this Ninja restoration, I always thought, and I did concept sketches every day, and I had things floating around in my mind and whatever, but boy, that was a few years back, and we have enjoyed riding this bike. I just can't even explain it. And I think following in the footsteps is going to be the 2009 Ninja. And I really have some high hopes that I'm going to be able to do some cool stuff with that bike. But we'll find out, and if you're so inclined to watch these videos, you'll see every step of it. And what we try to do is post every single step of the restoration on the video channel. Windy Space U, of course. And don't forget the space, or you'll wind up with some porno channel, I guess. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Anyway, it is time to ride. That's some good news today. I also spoke to Joe Padilla, who's, of course, got his bike, his GS1100, pretty much ready to get out on the open road. He's had some carburetor cleaning issues and brake issues, and the tank with that hole in it that he's had the tank soldered shut. Well, we look forward to very soon, hopefully, getting the two GSs out on the road together and ride each other's bike and see what we like about each other's bike and maybe make them both better. You might have noticed, and it's a very small item, but it's something that I think is, well, it's important to me. Virtually all of the motorcycles have a rear camera mount somewhere. Some on the swing arm, some up here, some on the side by the muffler. And these mounts have one bad feature that I don't like. There's always a resonant, almost always a resonant vibration, meaning that when you're in the highest RPM range or going through the gears, there's always a little bit of that, and you can always see it in the white line in the road will start to look like that. Well, I came up with a perfect solution, and it works perfectly. I made a mount for the back of the jacket. Now, one by one, as I go through the footage of the different bikes, I'm going to see that if the footage from the back of the jacket, and what I'll do every day is record some from the back of the jacket and from this part. Now see, the thing is, when you're doing it from the back of your jacket or the front of your jacket, your body acts like a big isolating rubber mount. When it's mounted to the frame, or the harder it's mounted to the bike, there's always a chance that somewhere in the range, in this bike it's at 7,000 or 8,000, in this bike it's probably 10,000 or something, but there's always a resonant range where the footage starts looking blurry. Well, the jacket mount looks like it, and I'm going to try it on each one of the bikes. The RD is the worst. The vibration in there is terrible, but once I can replace all of these rear mounts and just have the jacket mount, I think what we'll have is their footage facing rear. Now what I've been trying to do too with the footage is through editing combine some of the forward cam, the side cam, and some of the bikes have obviously more than two mounts, but it just makes for a more interesting video to watch. And since we try to ride in a little bit different area each day, try to explore different areas, well, the combination of having a better rear mount is going to add to the overall quality of the video. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to play out in the next month or so. Now, just because I'm always trying to share information, one of the things that worked extremely well, when I saw Vlad had the screw on, it mounts to the gas cap, that really worked well, but his bag is a lot smaller than mine, and I have a lot more stuff in here. camera batteries, spare cameras. I actually even have a little tripod in here. Thing to fix spare tires and whatnot. And of course the main thing, the radar detector. But what would happen in the past is if you'd hit a really big bump, this would, and it wouldn't fall off, and it wouldn't even come close to it, but it would kind of, at the end of 20 or 30 bumps, it'd be walking to the left or the right. I mounted 8 magnets from Amazon. They're like refrigerator magnets, except they're very high powered. The 8 magnets were $10. That makes it so solid you can move the bike. That totally solved one of the annoying problems that I was having. What I always try to do whenever I think about it, or whenever it's possible, I'm going to be seeing Luciano soon. I may even see him today or tomorrow. I don't know. He needs some help with moving his Ducati around. But I always try to pass on things that I know have worked for me, and even more important, pass on some things that haven't worked, just to try to save everybody the aggravation, the time, the money, and the frustration. Now, I always try to put about 30 seconds on my zinnia garden on, and you can't imagine how many zinnias I have. Dwarfs, I have every color imaginable. Zinnias grow different color flowers off the same plant: white, yellow, pink, red. The thing I've learned is from these, and there's even peppermint ones up there. There's a couple of peppermints. Here's another peppermint one here. But one of the things I learned from this season in the garden here is this really added a nice dimension to my summer, because every morning before I head out on the open road, when it's appropriate, Karen and I do what we call the perp walk. We walk through the garden, pick some fresh flowers for the house, and make sure all the dead flowers are weaned off. So it's time for that last cup of coffee. I always like to have an extra cup of coffee before I leave, because I don't like to stop when I ride. Anybody that rides with me knows I like to ride, and come home. And today's final weather report: 0 chance of rain, high 78. This should be a wonderful day to ride. Oh, we are back from just one of the nicest rides possible. That area where we rode up by Glenwood, most of it is on 517. It's just a beautiful area to ride. And this has been a beautiful day. We are really over the really hot part of the summer, and we should have about 3 months of really good riding. So I hope you enjoyed sharing the ride and sharing our upcoming restoration on the Ninja. And thanks for watching.